Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about commentary gaming. Some of you may be familiar with the concept, some of you may not, but I'm going to explain what it is anyway. So, commentary gaming. I'm not talking about gaming commentary where someone would record some footage and then bring it into an editing suite like Sony Vegas or Premiere and talk over the top. I'm talking about speaking to yourself as you're playing the game live. You're probably going to look like a lunatic if you do this sort of thing, but it will make you a better player and it will improve not only Battlefield 3, but it will improve your skill in every multiplayer game that you play if you do this sort of thing. So I got the idea for commentary gaming from commentary driving, and if you drive a car you probably know what this is. If you don't drive a car, just listen anyway because it's sort of relevant. Commentary driving is the process of talking to yourself as you're driving, and the reason for doing it is that it makes you a safer driver. You're always thinking about what's going on. So believe it or not, I think that men or women, we can't multitask. We can only think about one thing at once, right? And when you're driving a car, if you've been driving for a few years at least, you go into this sort of autopilot mode where you just do things automatically, and you might drive for like 20 minutes and think to yourself, where did those last 20 minutes go? Because you're not thinking about driving. You're thinking about picking the kids up or going out tonight or what game you're going to play when you get home from work. And you're not really thinking about what's in front of you and what's around you, which is bad because you're obviously driving a car, which is a very heavy, fast piece of equipment that could potentially injure or kill someone. So it's not very good. So the idea of commentary driving is to make you a better driver. So you'd pull out of your road and you would talk to yourself in the car, literally talk out loud. Because if you're talking about something, that's the only thing that you're thinking about and you're focused on it. And if you're talking about driving, then that's what you're going to be concentrating on and thinking about. And that's why this sort of thing works. So you might say, okay, there's a car incoming on the other side of the road. I'm just going to move over to the other side a bit just in case he swerves into my lane. Or you can say, okay, there's a crossroad coming up. I've got to be careful about people trying to run red lights or people turning in. There's a blind corner coming up. Maybe I should slow down a bit and just drop into a lower gear. So it's that sort of thing, like planning in advance so accidents don't happen. And when an accident happens, or when an accident is going to happen in a car, you have literally a split second to make a decision. Yes, sometimes people probably make the right split second decision and avoid an accident, okay? But more often than not, people will make the wrong split second decision and cause an accident. People could die, you could get brain damage. You know, car accidents are pretty bad news. So this whole commentary driving thing helps you avoid them. And you can apply this to gaming as well, so commentary gaming. So as you're playing the game, you're talking to yourself and constantly thinking about what you're up to. If you've got an objective, how can you get there? How can you help your team? How can you stay alive? That sort of thing. So instead of just looking at the middle of your screen and going into autopilot mode, which you can do on Battlefield 3, you're using the peripheral vision and looking around the screen. Your eyes should be darting left and right to look out for people. You should be paying attention to the minimap. You should be looking to see if your teammates need help, if they need reviving, or if someone needs a med kit or some ammunition dropped. You need to be thinking about all this stuff. And when you start out, yeah, it's quite hard. There's a lot of information on the screen at once that your brain has to process, okay? And if you're talking about it, it helps. It will make you a better player. So try this sort of thing. And trust me, it will, as I said at the start of the video, it won't just make you better at Battlefield 3. It'll make you better at every single game that you play, multiplayer games especially, because you're planning and thinking ahead of your opponent. So you've prevented something from happening because you've already planned on how to deal with it if it does happen, or you prevent it from ever happening in the first place by thinking and planning ahead. And this really does make you a better player, guys, trust me. Just next time you play, when no one's around, talk out loud to yourself. You can just think about it as well, but talking really helps on concentrating what you're doing. And eventually, all this new stuff that you're doing, like checking your corners, looking around the screen, paying attention to the mini-map, you're going to do that subconsciously. So it's subconsciously as well as consciously going to make you a better player. It works for driving as well. If you do commentary driving enough, all those things that you didn't do in the first place that you should be doing, you'll do them subconsciously, which is great because then you've got less stuff to think about, so you can concentrate more on driving. And you can really use this to your advantage in Battlefield 3. So this game, for example, that you've been seeing on the screen, defending on Operation Metro Rush, I actually did this at the time. I didn't record my microphone, but I was talking to myself out loud and thinking about what to do, concentrating on not spraying when I didn't need to, concentrating on bursting the weapon, checking the minimap, listening out for things because sounds are so important in Battlefield 3. Checking when my teammates were down, checking if I was clear to move up. And when you think about all that stuff and talk about it, it gets you good results, guys. It really does help. So please, try it out. Don't just trust me on this one. After you've watched this video, go on a server and try this sort of thing out. I wouldn't advise like being on Ventrilo or like TeamSpeak with people because that'll be a distraction. This is the sort of thing that you need to do on your own, and you need to be fully concentrated on the game and just thinking all the time. The most important thing to think about is if you see a bad guy, how are you going to kill him before he kills you? That is one of the most important things in Battlefield 3. You need to think outside the box. Don't just go, okay, get into a suppression battle and one of you will just get lucky. What you want to try and do is take luck out of the equation. Luck in Battlefield 3, I'd say, is mainly based on suppression. It's based on the minimap as well, because sometimes you'll flank someone and someone behind you might spot you on the minimap. And then the people that you flanked and you're just about to kill will turn around because they've seen you. And, you know, you can take that out of the equation by being selective about your targets and being stealthy, that sort of thing. You could even take a suppressor if you're one of those CQB stealth sort of guys. I personally don't like using the suppressor because it nerfs your damage at range quite a lot. But if you're playing with a loud weapon, you need to think, okay, probably shouldn't fire my gun here because I'm going to show up on the minimap and people are going to see me. And if people see me on the minimap, it gives them a nice big red Dorito on their screen so they can physically see you in 3D. And it also gives them a red arrow on the minimap that doesn't just stay in one place, it moves. If you've been spotted for a few seconds after you've been spotted and you move on the minimap, the enemy will see exactly where you're moving. So you need to take that into the equation as well. Get rid of the luck element and just concentrate on planning and using your skill and your brain to your advantage. Don't just run into somewhere thinking that it's going to work out, because you're putting all your eggs in one basket there, and that's the luck basket. And more often than not, you're going to lose. But you don't even have to go into the egg basket, guys. You can just avoid it and plan everything out. Go around things. Don't go inside them all the time. Look around you. Talk about it, and it will make you a much better player. Here, for example, on Operation Metro Rush, I really like pushing up on the left-hand side because people don't expect you this close towards their spawn. So when they run out of spawn and they start going for one of the objectives, they think to themselves, oh, I've probably got about 5 or 10 seconds now before I get seen by anyone. No, you're already there and you're ready for them to walk in front of your crosshair. So you're always going to beat them. And because of the planning that you've done, you were able to beat them. So think all the time, about that sort of stuff. Think about flanking. Think about how you can beat someone. It applies to vehicles as well. If you're an engineer, for example, and you're about to come head to head with a tank, think about all the different ways that you can kill him without him even getting a chance to kill you, okay? And it will make you a better player, trust me. I'm probably going to upload some live commentary gaming for you guys as well, so you can watch as I'm playing and hear what I'm saying to myself. So if you didn't sort of get what I was saying from this video, you'll have a better understanding of it when you watch me doing it live. So you'll be able to hear what I'm saying, and I'll be saying, okay, I'm looking on the left of the screen, I'm looking on the right of the screen, I'm checking my mini-map, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So that will be coming up, so look out for that, guys. Rate the video if you enjoyed it. It really helps my channel grow. Thanks for subscribing, and I will see you in the next video.